हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, आज की डिक्टेशन जो है वो है एडवर्टाइजिंग सब्जेक्ट पर और इट इज़ ऑफ 550 वर्ड्स एट द रेट ऑफ 105 वर्ड्स पर मिनट। और इसमें जहां भी इम्पॉर्टेंट आउटलाइंस हैं वो भी दी गई हैं और जो फ्रेजेस बीच में आप यूज़ कर सकते हैं वो भी दिए गए हैं। इनकी आप अच्छी तरह से प्रैक्टिस किया करें जब आप ट्रांसक्रिप्शन चेक कर लें उसके बाद में। अच्छी तरह इन द सेंस कि जब तक आप डिफ़िकल्ट जो भी आपको वर्ड्स लगते हैं या जो नए फ्रेजेस हैं आपके लिए उसकी आप अच्छी तरह प्रैक्टिस नहीं करेंगे तो नेक्स्ट टाइम आप उसको यूज़ नहीं कर पाएंगे। और अगर आपको जो और ज़्यादा अच्छे लगते हैं तो आप उनको किसी रजिस्टर में लिख लीजिएगा और टाइम टू टाइम जब भी आपको मन करे आप उसको रिवाइज भी कर सकते हैं। ऐसे करने से वो आपके लिए और ज़्यादा पक्के हो जाते हैं। और जहाँ भी पॉसिबल होता है मैं आउटलाइन दे देता हूँ और आप अच्छी तरह से करिए इसकी प्रैक्टिस। दैट्स ऑल, थैंक यू।
Please be ready for a dictation on the subject advertising. 5 seconds. Start. Advertising informs consumers about the existence and benefits of products and services and attempts to persuade them to buy them. The best form of advertising is probably word-to-mouth advertising, which occurs when people tell their friends about the benefits of products and services that they have purchased. Yet, virtually no providers of goods or services rely on this alone, but use paid advertising instead. Indeed, many organizations also use institutional or prestige advertising, which is designed to build up their reputation rather than to sell particular products. Although large companies could easily set up their own advertising departments, write their own advertisements, and buy media space themselves, they tend to use the services of large advertising agencies. These are likely to have more resources and more knowledge about all aspects of advertising and advertising media than a single company. The most talented advertising people generally prefer to work for agencies rather than individual companies, as this gives them the chance to work on a variety of advertising campaigns. It is also easier for a dissatisfied company to give its account to another agency rather it would be to fire its own advertising staff. The client company generally gives the advertising agency an agreed budget, a statement of the objectives of the advertising campaign known as a brief, and an overall advertising strategy concerning the message to be communicated to the target customers. The agency creates advertisements, briefly called as ads or adverts, and develops a media plan specifying which media, newspapers, magazines, radio, television, cinema, posters, newsletters, pamphlets, mail, etc. will be used, in which proportions these commercials will used. Agencies often produce alternative ads or commercials that are pre-tested in newspapers, television channels, etc. in different parts of a country before a final choice is made prior to a national campaign. The agency's media planners have to decide what percentage of the target market they want to reach and how many people to be exposed to the ads and the number of times they are likely to see them. Advertising people talk about frequency or opportunities to see and the threshold effect, the point at which advertising becomes effective. The choice of advertising media is generally strongly influenced by the comparative cost of reaching per thousand members of the target audience and the cost per thousand thereof. The timing of advertising campaigns depends on factors such as purchasing frequency and buyer turnover, that is, new buyers entering the market. How much to spend on advertising is always problematic. Some companies use the comparative parity method. They simply match their competitors' spending, thereby avoiding advertising wars. Others set their ad budget at a certain percentage of current sales revenue. But both these methods disregard the fact that increased ad spending or counter-cyclical advertising can increase current sales. On the other hand, excessive advertising is counterproductive because after too many exposures, people tend to stop noticing ads or begin to find them irritating. And once the most promising prospective customers have been reached, there are diminishing returns, that is, an ever smaller increase in sales in relation to increased advertising spending. Stop.